vegan cinnamon buns. Hello guys, it's Gaz and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you can see, I'm in a new kitchen. This is my new home in London. I'm really happy to be here. I hope you like the setup. I'm hoping that we get more consistent videos. I'm hoping I'm more relaxed in my new home and filming here is going to be a lot easier. Anyway, today I want to show you how to make the most epic vegan cinnamon buns. They are really simple to make, they're so tasty, and you will love these, I promise you. So let's get straight into it. Vegan cinnamon buns. So before I get into the recipe, please can you subscribe to my channel? You guys know by now that when I reach 1 million subscribers, I'll announce where my first restaurant will be, so please get me there. And also what helps me, if you just post on your Instagram story, maybe you watching my videos, that will really help. I've noticed that a few people do that, but it's a good idea, yeah. Share my videos on your story would be absolutely amazing, thank you. First up, I'm going to get my dry mix ingredients into my mixer. This also can be made in a mixing bowl, so you don't need a mixer, but it's a lot easier, more efficient in a mixer. If you have one, use it. Into your mixer, add some strong white bread flour, icing sugar, and corn flour. I'm just going to prepare the wet mix now, which is some margarine, vegan margarine, and some milk into a saucepan. Get that to a lukewarm temperature. Heat the milk and margarine mixture until it's lukewarm and the margarine has melted. So the margarine is melted, this is lukewarm. Do not overheat this. If you overheat this, when you put the yeast in, which is what I'm going to do now, you're going to kill it and the dough isn't going to rise. Okay, so please only lukewarm. If you get it too hot, just let it cool before getting the yeast in. So just added the yeast, whisk this in now until it's nice and smooth. And set it aside for about 5 minutes and it'll bubble and it will just activate that yeast, basically the heat will, and then let's get it into the dry mix and make our dough. That is basically it, like that. That was on time, perfect. Give the dry mix a quick mix, then add the wet mix. So I'm gonna need this now for around, say 5 to 6 minutes. Your dough will look quite wet, and the wetter the better really, because that results in a really nice fluffy bun. If it's too dry, you're going to have a really sort of hard and firm bun that isn't very nice texture-wise. So if it is looking too dry, add some more liquid, and if it's looking overly wet, then add a touch of flour. But as you mix it, the gluten's going to work and it's going to start to firm up slightly anyway, so don't worry if it looks too wet right from the start. Just keep an eye on it. So guys, the dough's been kneading now for about 6 minutes. And as you can see, it's very, very sticky, but that's what we want, as I said. The stickier, really, the lighter the bun. So what I'm gonna do now is get this lovely dough into a bowl and let it rise, let it double in size for about an hour in a warm place in the kitchen. And that will get nice and fluffy, and then it will be ready to roll into our cinnamon swirls. One thing you can do if you want to sort of cut the process down slightly, you can make this dough at this stage and get it into a bowl and into the fridge overnight, and because it's in a cool area, obviously in the fridge, it's going to rise slowly, and when you wake up the next day, you can go straight in to make it into the cinnamon swirls, which is what I've done because I'm prepared for once. Lightly grease a mixing bowl, place the dough in and cover over with a clean kitchen towel. Place the bowl somewhere warm. So guys, I'm gonna get the dough that I made last night. It should be nice and fluffy now, so let's get it. Before I roll this, I'm gonna make the really beautiful cinnamon swirl, cinnamon bun filling, and I'm gonna put a little twist on mine. I'm gonna make it a cherry almond and cinnamon filling. It's going to be unbelievable. So the cherry is going to add a nice sweetness. The almond is going to add another dimension of flavor. It's going to be like almost like a Bakewell tart cinnamon swirl buns. I don't know what I'm saying. Cinnamon swirls, yeah? All right, it's going to be amazing. Let's do it. So for the Bakewell tart style cinnamon swirl filling, I've got some dried cherries going into my blender. We've got to make a really nice paste basically. And these cherries they're just dried cherries, so easy to get, and it's going to take this cinnamon bun to the next level. Into the Ninja blender, add some dried cherries. Next to the blender, add some almond butter. I'm actually using Pippin Nuts Cherry Bakewell tart flavor almond butter, which is going to add a nice twist. Add some vanilla extract. For its rich flavor, some maple syrup, and let's get that blended up. So before I blitz this up, it does need a little bit of water to help it blitz, basically. But you need to be careful on how much you add, because it needs to be a really good consistency to go right through the cinnamon swirls. I didn't add any cinnamon. What the hell am I doing? We need to add some cinnamon, because after all, these are cinnamon swirls. I can't believe I forgot it. Before you blend it, add some really good ground cinnamon. What am I doing? There we go, that's the consistency we want. Look at that. Wow, this mixture literally smells incredible. Wow, so cinnamony, so sweet, cherry, almondy, it's amazing. I don't know why I thought about getting cherries and almonds in there, but I just thought, why not? Actually, I know what I did. It's because I only had cherries here, so that's why I put it in originally when I was testing this recipe, and it worked so well. Dust your work surface with a little bit of flour and turn out your dough. Wow, this is so light and fluffy now. Roll the dough into a long rectangle shape around 1 centimeter thick. So now we need to get lashings, new word, of this amazing cinnamon mixture over this beautiful dough. So there we go, the cinnamon, almondy, cherry flavors being spread everywhere here now, and we need to roll this up. And this is the funnest part for me. So there we go, there's our cinnamon swirl basically done. Before this goes into the oven, I've got to line a baking tray. I'm using this 9-inch loose bottom baking tray. The reason I'm doing this, I think it adds a nice looking effect to it when it's done. Rather than it being square, the round shape of this will make our cinnamon swirls look really, really nice. And having a loose bottom just makes it so much easier to actually get it out of the tray. So there's my little tips for making your cinnamon swirls look a bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? A bit more fancy. So, but before I do that, you need to line this, and I'm going to show you how to make a cartouche, which lines the bottom of the base and around the sides. First up, lightly grease the tin with some coconut oil. To make the cartouche, grab a square-shaped piece of greaseproof paper and fold it in half. Fold it in half again, then fold it in half diagonally, and in half again. Then we just need to measure our greaseproof paper into the center, like so. Mark it with a line, so it's about here. I'm going to cut this, and it should open up into a really nice circle and fit perfectly inside. Perfect, so now this is beautifully lined. Just line the edges and we can get our cinnamon swirls inside. Using the leftover bit of greaseproof paper, use it to line the edges of the tin. Cut the roll up into about 8 pieces. So now we need to organize these lovely cinnamon swirls into our lined tin. there we go. There's my cinnamon buns in the tin. It doesn't have to be too neat because they will rise now and they will form their own little rustic, nice shape. And what you need to do now is cover this over with a clean kitchen towel again and put it somewhere warm. Now, I've got this handy little cupboard down here that I'll put this under now, under the oven. It's not going to be too hot for them. It just needs to be like a nice warm temperature. And they will rise in about an hour's time, and then you can get them in the oven. So whilst the buns have been rising, I've just mixed together some maple syrup and some vegan margarine, and that's going to be a beautiful glaze on top of the buns whilst they're in the oven. The buns, the swirls, I don't know, swirls or buns, who knows? Comment below. Anyway, they're risen now. I'm going to get them out and I'll show you how amazing they look once they've risen. And here we go, look at them. See what I mean about how they all find their little way around this nice tin and they look so neat now? Perfect. So, before they go in the oven, let's get this glaze over the top. Only a little bit of this, I'm not going to put it all on now. I like to put some on halfway through cooking when I add some beautiful flaked almonds. Add a little dusting of coconut sugar or any sugar of your choice. So the buns are going in the oven for about 30 to 35 minutes, set at 180 degrees Celsius. They're on the bottom shelf, and I will take them out halfway through cooking to add a bit more glaze and flaked almonds. If you put the flaked almonds on early, like now, they're going to burn by the time the dough is cooked. So put them on around 10 minutes before the dough is finished, so about after 25 minutes. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. After 20 to 25 minutes of cooking, remove the buns from the oven and pour over more glaze and sprinkle over some flaked almonds. So guys, it's been 35 minutes. Let's get these cinnamon buns out the oven. Wow. Look at these. Looks amazing. It wouldn't be cinnamon swirls without our icing sugar glaze. So I'm mixing some icing sugar with some creamy non-dairy milk and some vanilla. We passed the first test. And look at this now. I'm a bit impatient. I took the ring off when it's still a bit too hot, and now I'm scared to take the bottom off, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Once you've taken the ring off, let's get it on a cooling rack to cool completely before putting the glaze on, and then you can dig in. That looks so epic. Wow. Yes! We did it! Look at that. We got it on. Boom. Now we need to get some glaze on top. So we've had to move the beautiful cinnamon buns over here in front of the window on a nice background because it just looks so good. Now I'm gonna cover it now in this beautiful icing sugar glaze and some caramelized almonds which I made, and the recipes for these will be on the website. I'm gonna pour this over now. It's gonna look so good. Cue cinematic beauty shots. Right, that's enough taking pictures and filming this. I need to grab a piece and taste it. It smells unreal. Wow, oh my God. Look how fluffy that is. This is still a bit too warm to eat, but I don't care. That is actually unbelievable. Cherry Bakewell cinnamon swirls. You have to try this recipe. Out on my knees, this is amazing. This is one of the nicest vegan desserts or cakes I've ever eaten. I'm so happy I came up with this recipe. Hope you guys try it. Please like, share and comment on the video. Please try it and actually tag me in the pictures on Instagram, and obviously subscribe. This has literally blown my mind. The flavor is like, it's just crazy. Boom.